Time for your fan of weather forecast brought to you by Utke Heating and Cooling. Right now, 78 degrees and sunny, clear skies for the rest of the night and a low of 59.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
Welcome in to hour number 2 as we broadcast live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here, Charlie there, other side of the glass. Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, presented by Focus Baseball, comes up at 3:20. 3:40, Charlie Sounds of the Day. 4 o'clock, Pete Doherty, the Green Bay Press Gazette, our Green and Gold update, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, again, coming up at 4 o'clock. Here's some from Matt LaFleur, who got to his press conference significantly late. Is that correct?
Like 40 minutes late, and then decided to talk for the longest he's talked all season for almost 25 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a bye week. Get everything out.
Get it all out, and then he doesn't have to talk at all.
Do we have an update on, I'd like to know this, is there an update on Devontae Wyatt? That is the one that I care about the most. Like, if there is an update as far as how long Mr. Wyatt's going to be
So
out.
from Eli Berkovitz, Matt LaFleur just said that Devontae Wyatt is week to week. Could be worse, but still sucks.
Week to week?
Mm-hmm.
Not
what
day
LaFleur
to
said.
day.
He said, I'd say
week to week.
He said, quote, I'd say week to week.
Okay. It's better than being out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's, I guess, a little bit.
And again, you talk about these early Packer bye weeks, but in this case, this works out, man. You've got 3 offensive linemen hurt. You've got your best run-stopping defensive lineman hurt as well. Hobbs can't stay on the field. He keeps getting hurt like Banks. Both those free agent signings have been complete flops through 4 games. Complete and utter flops because of health. More than anything else, they just can't stay on the field and stay healthy, Charlie.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see that. I think they both those players, I guess I wasn't overly excited about when they signed them, but I also felt like they both fit in with what the Packers needed this offseason. And to see them just not be on the field, or when they are on the field be extremely disappointing, is absolutely frustrating. With Devontae Wyatt being week to week, I don't know, that's a little scary. Jair Alexander, I'm pretty sure, was week to week at one point.
Oh,
I feel like Zach Tom's week to week.
Well,
and both those are going not great.
The track record of this training staff isn't exactly brilliant either at this point of the year. We guys come back and they get hurt immediately again with the same thing. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in the training staff to begin with right now. So we'll see how this goes. But that's definitely not good news at this point. So Kurt Hogue wrote a piece earlier today about Christian Yelich and the Brewers. And Yelich just talking about how it's going to change this place. Like, if they win a World Series, he understands, having been here for so long, how much it changes everything. Everything. And Charlie Usen, my producer, came up with this topic. I'm going to give him credit when he comes up with the topic. I hate the topic, but we're going to.
When I said this, he literally leaned back, started rubbing his face, and goes, "I hate this.
Put
it at 3 o'clock.
Put it at 3 o'clock." Right? Just because I hate it doesn't mean we're not going to do it. It just means it's a tough question that I don't really want to get into, but we'll do it. So Yelich talks in this piece glowingly about the Brewers, the organization, the want to win a World Series, and all of that before his career is over and so forth. Fine. If Yelich and the Brewers were to win this thing, win the whole enchilada, is he the greatest Brewer of all time? It's a tough one, ain't it? Told you. That's why I don't like it. I don't like it. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee as well. Sound off with a voice message. You can record and send it right through the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Don't forget, you can also stream us on YouTube. Watch us. All you got to do is search for The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. We can read some of those comments and so forth as we go. And same with the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line. Okay, Charlie. So this is what I'm going to say. I am a believer in the idea that rings matter when you start building greatest players of all time, greatest coaches of all time, whatever. Or the very popular sports talk radio topic of who's on your Brewers Mount Rushmore, right? Who's on your Packers Mount Rushmore? Every station in the country, every show in the country has done it at some point. I know we've done it at some point in the 20 years I've been here, probably several times. I don't want to do that. For me, Robin Yount's one. Greatest brewer of all time is Robin Yount. Multiple reasons. MVPs. Was here his entire career, never left. Now, was he debating it every offseason? Should I stay? Should I go? I don't know. Molly likes Toronto. Maybe I'll go to Toronto. I heard Canada's nice in the summertime. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We just had Yount on, last month, whatever it was. I guess I never came up with the idea to ask him that question. But it's fun now, because now anytime I talk to anybody that stays an entire career somewhere, I'm going to ask, how often did you think about leaving, and see if anybody else says every offseason. I'm curious to see how many answers I'm going to get from those people. But I don't want to go back and dwell on Giannis. You're laughing because you know I'm mad about this. It's going to be in my head now the rest of the day. I promise you, when I'm at home, I'm still going to be mad about this. I'll be angry texting Charlie when I think of more stuff. If he wins a World Series, he wasn't here his whole career, right? So that doesn't match up with Yount. He's not a multiple MVP, so that doesn't match up with Yount. But best player on a team to win the World Series, which he is, it's not Churio yet. It's Yelich from a hitting perspective and everything else. Power and average, all that. It's Yelich. I think it's going to be hard to have that conversation, Yount versus Yelich. I think the old school guys are going to say Yount till they die. Unless somebody unless we get like a Giannis in Milwaukee, right? That's Churio eventually, or if that becomes Made at some point, whatever. Then maybe you have that conversation. Yelich is not that. Yelich is not a generational type player that would sway a lot of older people like me to go away from Robin Yount because of how good Robin Yount was every single freaking year. Like, just so consistent. And was a guy that, different than now, you would see out. He'd be out. Right? Molitor, Gorman, those guys would all go out. They'd all be out. He'd be on his motorcycle, whatever. But you'd see these guys out. Now, the baseball players, a little bit more difficult, obviously, because these guys have games, whatever else. Back then, there was no talk of, make sure you get your sleep. These dudes, you drink to 2 bar close, be on like 4 hours of sleep, hungover, go out there and play a baseball game in the afternoon. Would not care. And they would be fine, right? That's how they did it. They didn't care about sleep. Now these guys are all about playing video games and getting sleep. You still got some guys that may go out to the club or whatever, but for the most part, everybody has kind of changed things a little bit as far as how people go about stuff. I remember Tim Lincecum, when he pitched for the Giants, that cat was always on Water Street when they were in Milwaukee. He'd be sitting at the bar drinking, doing whatever his thing is. He'd fit right in because he's like my size, right? But he'd always be out. He didn't care. So for me, I'm staying with Robin Yount. I don't think I can put Yelich in front of him. I don't. But I'm an old guy. Right? I watched a good part of Yount's career. He's not Yount. He's damn good. He had a big lull, though, because of injuries that derailed him to where I, for numerous years, said, dude, please trade him. Trade him. Give him a good prospect with him and get this contract off of the books, because you only have so much you can spend in Milwaukee. It's not the Dodgers. So clear that number off and be able to sign Woodruff to a long deal. Be able to sign Burns to a long-term deal, right? And then they both end up getting hurt. And if they would have listened to me, Yelich would be gone having a career year somewhere else, and we'd have 2 hurt pitchers in Milwaukee, and everything would be screwed up. That's why I'm not a baseball general manager. But from the perspective of comparing these two guys, I think it's Yount. I think that's where I'd go. You didn't really have lull years necessarily with Robin Yount. He was just the gold standard. Great defender in center field, right? Had power, had speed, had everything you wanted with a, five-tool player essentially at this point. And used to play shortstop, so his arm was good. So for me, it's Robin Yount, even though he doesn't have a ring. Goes against everything I normally say, but I think I would stay with Yount.
I think I go with Yount too. I think that if Christian Yelich wins this World Series this year with the Brewers, I think he's number 2. I think he's fully cemented himself as number 2.
Does he get a statue?
Yeah, he gets a statue. I mean, he has 2 of the greatest Brewer seasons of all time, one of them being an MVP and then to go to win a ring.
And didn't cheat.
Mm-hmm. And that, honestly, that second season, I argue that if he had stayed healthy the entire year, he probably would have had it over Cody Bellinger too.
Yes.
So he would have had 2 MVPs.
I think he would have, yeah.
So I think both those seasons and then a World Series where he could potentially be the Championship Series MVP or the World Series MVP. He was a vital part of the organization this year. I mean, I think there's a pretty big shot that he does cement himself as that second best player of all time.
I got a text in from the 920. Best hitter on this team is Yelich. I'll take Terang over Yelich. All right, fine. You want to say it's Bryce Terang over Christian Yelich? By all means. Bryce Terang's had a great year. No question. He doesn't have the power of Yelich, though. He doesn't have the power. His average is better, right? At this point, I get that. But for me, it'd be Yelich. Now, Tommy Wirtz, who's going to be hosting the playoff preview show from 5 to 6 tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday here on The Fan, and Andrew Wagner, they may disagree with me. They might very well say it's Bryce Terang. But for me, talking about Yelich and kind of where this all goes going forward, a ring is just so big, man. If you go back to the Packers, that first Super Bowl team, a lot of those guys are still going on talk shows, right? Leroy maybe not going on talk shows as much anymore, but Leroy's in the community doing autograph signings and doing stuff and still being visible. It's pretty good. We're like 30 years removed, right? 30 years from that first Super Bowl team, still relevant. Gilbert Brown's got beer. It's good beer. That's out there that you can buy as well. Right?
Killer Kolsch. It is
right.
very good.
Very good. Very right. Yeah. So Gilbert Brown's got his beer. Comes on, does radio shows, does all that stuff, still does appearances in Wisconsin, still does autograph signings. All these years later, 30 years, man, these dudes are still doing things. And I promise you, even though a lot of people don't like Brett Favre, if Brett Favre said, hey, I'm going to be at the Fan at 5 o'clock tonight in the parking lot. If you want an autograph, line up on Grange and we'll get you an autograph. How long you think the line would be on Grange? We'd have to have the police.
Yeah, probably.
Police would have to be out here. There'd be cars lined up forever.
Highway would be blocked
with
off.
An hour, 40-minute lead time. By 5 o'clock, come out here, right? I'll sign autographs. Everybody will be here. So regardless of what you think of the dude as a human being or whatever, still extremely popular, famous, whatever else. You take a Brewers team that's never even won the damn thing. I mean, the history of the Packers is insane, right? Lombardi, all the Super Bowl trophies. They call it Title Town, man. The head coach's name is on the trophy when you win the championship. But there was a large gap. 67 to 96. Large gap. These guys have never even won it in their existence. They've only been there once. You're telling me that there aren't going to be statues built and everything else? Everybody on this roster, if they win this thing, will be legends in Wisconsin, not just Milwaukee either. This ain't the Bucks. This is the Brewers. This is a statewide team, like the Packers. They'll be legends here for the rest of their life. I don't care what happens after this year. I don't care if Terang can't stay healthy and he's crap. I don't care if Freely can't stay healthy and he's crap. For the rest of their life, they will come back here and make money for the rest of their life. They'll be treated like legends forever.
What if in this dream scenario where
I love this scenario. I like talking about Brewers winning World Series now.
Well, what if Anthony Siegler ends up on the playoff roster at some point, Sparky? He's a part of that team. Would you consider him a legend?
Shut up. He's not going to be. But quickly, I will say this. Charlie and I were talking. So Cleveland calls up this dude, from their AAA team, has not played a single Major League Baseball game. Yeah. Right. And he is on their playoff roster for the wild card round. Hasn't played all year. He's been hurt twice. He's had multiple surgeries, and he is on the playoff roster, right? What if Jesus Made was on the divisional roster?
Be kind of cool.
I mean, you're making precedents here in Cleveland, calling up a cat and putting him on the wild card round. Haven't played a game in his entire career in the big leagues. Here you go. Go. McClanahan, the pitcher that was with the Rays, same thing happened to him. They were in the postseason. They called him up. He never pitched in a big league game, and they called him up. Who would you rather have on this roster at this point? Made or anybody else as the last guy on the roster? I'll take Made every day of the week. Hey, we're going to see how Jesus Made does at shortstop over Joey Ortiz. Let's see. Oh, Jesus, you're going to play at third base today instead of Caleb Durbin. We'll rotate you two at third base. Could you imagine the hype train that would happen if Jesus Made got called up, was on this roster? Look, I'm causing Tommy to tear up. I think he's crying.
He's so happy, right? He's
crying with excitement right now about how great this would be.
I was helping install a television.
Oh, you got recruited by ITN?
He's going to go back in now.
Recruited myself, and I was like, I got to go slap him. First of all, this conversation has gone so many different directions already.
Yes, and that's how this show has been all week.
I don't know where to start.
You sound like you're talking about hot dogs.
This is nice. The top 5 best brewer conversation. Like, you knew what you were doing on that. You knew what you were doing. It was
not my topic. It's his topic.
Oh God, Charles!
I didn't come up with this. This was Charlie's topic.
I've never said anything bad about you on air, Charlie. And it's like approaching here, and now you're trying to bring this guy up who is younger than Charlie.
Yeah, that's Sparky's fault. That's not my fault.
Like, what are you talking about? He hasn't did you see what Tariq Skubal just did right now in game 1? You want Jesus Made going up against
not facing Tariq Skubal next round?
Oh my God. Well, first of all,
what the hell are the Cubs going to throw at Jesus Made? That's so dangerous.
I don't know why you're assuming I think the Padres could win the World Series, but I think that what you have right now is just an insane take to say that Caleb Durbin should not be considered to be on the starting lineup no matter what.
Well, I had the insane take all summer that he shouldn't be rotating with that idiot Siegler.
Correct.
And I was told I was a fool, that they got to rotate. Pat Murphy, the manager of the team, thought I was an idiot for saying Caleb Durbin's going to play every day. So no, I'm going with the take that I'm an idiot still, and then Murphy's not going to play him every day in the playoffs, and we're going to continue to rotate Monasterio and other hacks to go out there and try and play third base.
Monasterio,
so if you're going to give me
the most insane month of August of all time,
and now what?
I don't care what he's done as of right now. He'll be fine. God. Give it a week.
You can't say that. You're all about Jake Bauers in September. Don't want to talk about Jake Bauers the rest of the year.
Talk about Jake Bauers in May. Talk about May.
And now, and how you want to talk about, I don't care about Monasterio in September.
Because this is a rotation of guys who you already know what you're going to get no matter what.
Right, Monasterio sucks.
No, he does not. He's been way improved this year.
The clutchest player on this team in the past 2 seasons.
Oh, my gosh.
Monasterio hit in September? Look it up. What does he hit?
Listen, much limited role. Much more limited than he was in August.
How many at-bats?
Much more limited than he was.
What did Monasterio hit in the month of September?
It was like $190 or something. We just looked this up, wasn't it?
Let's see. In the month of September, Andrew Monasterio hit 167 with a 397 OPS.
What did Joey Ortiz hit? Because that's what you're talking about replacing. You're not replacing Caleb Durbin with this. Joey Ortiz was not great all of September as well.
Joey Ortiz, the argument for Joey Ortiz is he's unbelievable defensively, so you don't want to replace the defense.
Sure,
if you're defending, keeping him in the lineup.
Okay.
That's the defense.
214 with a 482 OPS.
He's Babe Ruth compared to Monasterio.
Well, and you're the one who's going to call up Jesus Made? What are you doing?
Man, I was something fun. Chill out. I was just having something fun with him because the guy from Cleveland got called up with no experience.
Christian Yelich could win the World Series this year, and he's not a top 5 brewer of all time. That's my final take on that.
No.
Yes,
I think
100%.
No chance.
100%.
Well, who are you going to put in there?
Yount, Mahler, Braun. It's not even close.
Cheaters don't go in my top 5.
Okay, well, that's ridiculous.
No.
Prince Fielder, again, way more
not
homers.
Here long enough.
And just about the same amount of games. He's in the same amount of games.
Not here long enough.
It's the exact same amount of games. It is 960 plus games. Each of them have not hit 1,000. It is the exact same time frame. Yes.
He was here as long as Yelich?
Yes, it's the exact
Golly.
same amount of time. So he's
He
not even
didn't-
close to that.
It didn't feel like that.
You could talk about Cecil Cooper if you want. We haven't even mentioned a pitcher at any time during this stretch either.
No.
Absolutely not. It's not even close yet. Top 5 isn't even, I don't even think he's top 5.
I want to see how this changes when they win a World Series and they're having a parade down Wisconsin Avenue.
Is
And
Pat
I want to
Murphy-
see
is
how
Pat Murphy-
all emotions
Pat
change.
Murphy's the best Brewers manager if he wins the World Series. That's
Yes.
it right away?
Yes.
Okay, well then I'm telling
Yes.
you right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
yes.
is the,
absolutely.
in 2 years?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes. Done.
Two managers of the years in a World Series.
Done. Absolutely, yes.
Oh gosh.
Absolutely.
And the Cubs just homered. This
Tie
is what
game.
happens.
1-1
This is
in
what
the fifth.
happens when you do this. No, what are you doing? This is
He's celebrating. It's his team. He likes the Cubs.
Yeah, but I thought he
Sam
was a
Suzuki.
Brewers fan all
I
year
can
now.
cheer for both.
He
I
wants
just,
to
I just
face
think, I
each
just think
other.
the Brewers are probably have a better shot of winning the World
I
Series.
have never been more angry at
You're
this
the
show.
one that jinxed this. This is your fault.
No.
You're the one that came in here and goes, I don't think they're going to play the Cubs. I think the Padres may win the World Series. You're not even off mic and Suzuki hits a home run.
This is ridiculous.
Go back and hang a TV before you jinx it further.
I'm going to because I'm going to turn the radio off in the other room too because I can't even. What are we doing?
We're having a radio show.
I feel like you know what you're
And
doing.
we talk. This wasn't my topic. See, way to go. Now you got me in trouble with Tommy, and this wasn't even my topic. KJ and West Dallas, you're next on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. KJ, if Christian Yelich and the Brewers win a World Series, is he the greatest of all time for the Brewers?
Hello,
Hello.
Sparky. Thanks for taking my call. No, by far, Joey Ortiz is the best Brewer of all time.
I love you, KJ. You're the best.
But KJ, like seriously though, it's not even close to Yount, if by any means. And then there's going to be way more with Molitor's time put in as well.
Does he get a statue?
Does Christian Yelich get a statue?
Charlie said absolutely.
Oh my
if they win the World Series,
gosh.
absolutely.
I think he
He
does
has
too.
2 of the greatest seasons in Brewers history.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's 2 years. Again, like you're talking about a franchise that's been around since 1970 and what has happened all beforehand. Baseball is all about the counting stats. It is all about the counting stats.
So-
And Yelich is not close to the counting stats right now.
But it's just not. Christian Yelich has a 27.5 WAR with the Brewers during his time. Prince Fielder, who you compared him to before, has a 16.8
You're not going to want to play the
WAR.
war game on this because it's really not going to be in his favor after moving to DH and on top of it, not the longevity like other guys have in this conversation.
All right, KJ, go on.
Okay, yes, I'm with Tommy on this. I would go Yount for sure, number 1.
I agree with that.
Molitor
Yes.
2, and Braun
Molitor.
3. Yeah,
Yes.
Molitor and then Braun. Braun changed the trajectory of the Brewers organization when he came in.
Yep.
He also
Rookie of the
lied and was
year.
caught cheating.
Oh my.
How is he on
I
your
get it.
top 5 based on that?
They said
Now
back
it's
to
2-1.
back. Oh my
You're
God.
still sitting in here.
I'm talking-
Get out of the studio, Tommy. Now the Cubs are up 2-1.
Oh,
Carson
man.
Kelly with a home run. Get out of the studio. Stop talking, KJ. Leave. I'm turning off his mic. Get out. Get out. Get out. Laughing. Out he goes. My God. All right. Now that we're alone now, KJ, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going with the top 3. If Yelich wins the World Series this year, I'll move him up to probably 2.
Same.
But
Fine.
Yount is undoubtedly the best Brewer of all time in my mind.
I agree. I think
So,
Jan is. I'm with you on Jan as 1. Yes. Thanks for the call, KJ. I appreciate it. Joins us here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. Up next, Andrew Wagner of Forbes Sports, Brewers writer, and he is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Straight ahead here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Cubs up 2-1. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. See Sparky, Fifer, Charlie using over there. Cubs are up 2-1. 2 homers in the last inning while Tommy Wirtz came in here and said, oh, hey, the Padres, I think Padres are going to win this series. Don't even talk about the Cubs. I had to kick him out. It's unfortunate, but and then as soon as I kicked him out, they got out of the inning. That was the end of that. So 2-1 Cubs, bottom of 5 over the Padres, down at Wrigley. Sparky here, Charlie using over there, other side of the glass. Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law, he is Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign up for their fall mini camps today by going to focusbaseball.com. Baseball or softball, they take care of both. Mr. Wagner, how are you today?
I'm at the ballpark, Sparky. That's that about sums it up.
Well, I still don't know what to make of you. Every time I think I have a beat on Andrew Wagner, Charlie, I feel like I get thrown a curveball of like, see, you really don't know the dude.
What do you mean?
Well, earlier today, I found out, because obviously I definitely would never talk to Wagner about this, that apparently Wagner is into pedicures. Like, what in the world
I heard that earlier too.
is that? Mr. Macho, tough guy, drink my whiskey. Wagner is into pedicures? Like, what in the world is going on here?
Pardon me for caring about good foot hygiene. How dare I?
What are we doing? Like, I just did not see that one coming. That one threw me for a loop. I still can't figure out how that is. Okay, so what's going on?
I don't understand what's so hard to figure out about it. You sit in a chair, someone takes a power tool to like clean your feet.
Stranger
You've
touches
got
your feet.
headphones in. Yeah, and then they get paid to do it, so they can't complain about it. You just sit there, you get your foot cleaned, you get your claws chopped, you're listening to one of the many podcasts that are available on the Odyssey app.
Yes,
the Wisconsin Sports Daily.
Yeah.
You're sipping a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's great. So, yeah, I might go do that after this workout.
It just really seems disgusting to me. But either way, Mr. Wagner, I would like to know from you what exactly is happening at said workout today, as the Brewers did not open it up for ticket sales like a couple of other teams did on their bye week, like Philadelphia. I think they're charging like $10 a holler to get into these things. And one of them is giving money to the charity of the money that they bring in, which is a cool idea. I like that.
Yeah.
So what are we missing by not being at the workout today?
Well, right now we're watching Charlie Green just get eviscerated by teammates because he's serving as the umpire for this live BP session. We've seen Nick Mears throw. We've seen Grant Anderson throw. Now we've got Easton McGee out there. Basically all the guys that didn't pitch yesterday are getting an inning of work today against live hitters. And let's see what else is there. There's some drills. We got a schedule sent to us earlier. It's not unlike spring training. The only difference is it's chilly. We're in Wisconsin, and I'm not hungover, but it's pretty much spring training right now. I'm going through situational drills during these live BP sessions, some base running stuff. Just trying to keep the guy sharp. Murph had said that it was going to be he wanted to make it uncomfortably competitive these couple days. It's hard to recreate. Yeah, none of us knew what he meant by it, and we tried to get him to explain it. And well, you know how Murph is. It's hard to recreate the atmosphere and the intensity of an actual game, let alone a playoff series. So I think more than anything, it's just a matter of let's stay sharp, let's stay, interested, let's stay intact, let's just keep going and not catch a complete lull, if that makes sense.
He is Andrew Wagner. Follow him on Twitter at @AndrewWagner. Forbes Sports Brewers writer, presented by Focus Baseball. Catch him coming up tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday night on the Fan Playoff Preview Show with Tommy Wirtz from 5 to 6 o'clock each and every night. You get insight and reaction to what's going on down there as we get ready to find out if the Brewers will face the Cubs or Padres, starting with their series coming up on Saturday. So how much live pitching are we going to be treated to here with these deals? Because I would think that has to be something too, right? Otherwise, are they just throwing bullpens and these guys aren't going to see live pitching all week?
Well, I mean, that's why they're having a live BP sessions. For one, to keep your hitters seeing live pitching, and two, to keep the relievers. Obviously, you want to get them some rest, and you're going to limit their work, but you can't shut them down for 4 days and then throw them back on a mound in a do or die playoff situation. So it's basically, again, it's keeping everybody fresh as possible but also in a competitive state, if that makes sense.
See, that's where I'm confused, because if you're going to make it uncomfortably competitive, then I would have thought there would have been some type of scrimmaging going on in that
and
realm.
There might be. We're only 1 day into it, like they still have tomorrow, they still have Thursday, they still have time to get through all that stuff. Like it's the first day. You just came off 162. You're not going to go full blown right now. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday is when they do something a little bit more intense, especially when the media is not allowed in here. And who knows? Maybe it is uncomfortable. Maybe Murph's making him do it without underwear. Like there's always something that's going on that we don't know about.
Losers have to get pedicures. This is something else that I'm kind of curious about. So I saw the piece. Who was it? Was it Rosiak or Koch? One of them. I did a piece predicting what the divisional round roster was going to look like for the Brewers. Rhys Hoskins was not included on that prediction at that point. They did have Quintana scheduled in as that third starter in the series. No Grant Anderson on that roster either. Do you disagree with anything that I just said?
I didn't read it, but I am pretty confident that Hoskins will not be on that roster.
Wow.
I was a little shocked to hear about Grant Anderson when they were talking about that. That one surprised me a little bit. But again, it all depends on the matchups too. If you're facing a team that's got, heavy lefties or heavy righties, you might stack your pen a little bit differently in those situations because it's a short series and you can make changes after. So it doesn't surprise me too much. And I'm not surprised either about Jose Quintana, because really at this point, who else would you go with in your number three?
No, it's either that or you go a bullpen game and you add another reliever and essentially go with two starters and see how it plays out from there, kind of going forward. The other thing I'm curious about too with this Brewers team is when they get into it, do we think that they are going to cut these guys off at 5 innings and rely more on the bullpen? Or do you think Murphy's going to push them to pitch deeper into games in a 5-game set?
It's funny you say cut them off at 5 innings. Like, how often do you see a Brewer starter go past 5 innings?
That's what I'm saying.
So how different would it really? Yeah, how would it really? I don't know. I mean, the playoffs are such a different animal when it comes to pitching because, and again, I've talked about this a lot of times on the leadoff show. The way the NL schedule plays out this year in the NLDS with that extra off day, I think you're going to be able to be a lot more aggressive with your bullpen early on and a little bit more creative with the way that you build your roster. I mean, you are basically playing every other day the first 3 games of that series. So that one extra off day really changes the way that you view things. You can go a little harder and a little earlier in the bullpen if you have to, because you don't have to worry about playing back to back.
See, I agree with you. I think they're going to cut these guys off. I would be surprised if we saw any one of the 3 go more than 5 innings, I think, in the NLDS. Now, when you get to the NLCS and somebody's cooking, I think maybe there's a better chance there of them working deeper into games. And part of this, too, is it has to be how much do you believe in your bullpen, right? I mean, how much are you buying into Nick Mears being that guy when called on? How much are you buying into Mizorowski pitching the 6th inning? How much faith do you have in him versus letting Peralta, Woodruff, or Quintana pitch another inning?
Yeah, and I think Murph has plenty of confidence in his bullpen. These guys have gotten the job done more often than not this year. I know their staff ERA only ranks, I think, 6th in terms of bullpens this year. But man, they've gotten the job done. They've carried a pretty heavy load all year long, and for the most part, they've handled it well. So yeah, I think especially in the short series, you're going to be more inclined to go to your pen early because, again, it's a short series. You have less room for error. You got to win that game in that moment. And in the NLCS, you have a little bit more breathing room. Yeah, you're right. A guy, if he's cooking in the NLCS, you're going to let him ride it.
There he is, Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign up for their fall mini camps today. Great coaches over there. My kid was over there for a couple of years as well. Check them out today. FocusBaseball.com. Follow Andrew Wagner on Twitter by Andrew Wagner. Him and Tommy Wirtz coming up from 5 to 6 tonight. Looking forward to hearing what that's all about as they get ready for the fan preview playoff show tonight, 5 to 6. That's tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Talking Brewers baseball each one of those nights starting at 5 o'clock. Mr. Wagner, thank you so much.
Hey, can you have Wendy's send some food to the ballpark? They're not feeding us today.
Well, what time did this thing start at? 2? 2:30?
1 o'clock, yeah.
1 o'clock?
You know.
Well, didn't you know that? Didn't they tell you that they weren't going to feed you before you got there?
No, I just assumed that we'd be fed because we are the sporting press and, the kings of the realm. It's all good. If I starve.
Doesn't McKelvey have candy? McKelvey always has candy. Go have some of McKelvey's candy.
Actually, that's on me. It was my fault. I was supposed to go pick up the candy stash for the press box, and I forgot to bring it.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, boys.
Horrible.
Till next time.
Goodbye. There he is, Andrew Wagner on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
What kind of rookie doesn't bring their own snacks, man? That's awful. Come on, Drew, be better.
I will tell you, and I've said this before, Andrew McKelvey is unbelievable. Adam McKelvey is unbelievable when it comes to candy. He melts candies. It is brilliant.
What do you mean he melts candies?
He melts like Skittles and different type of candies. He's a big believer in melting different types of candies to change the taste and texture, all that stuff.
So like how people freeze dry candies, like the opposite of that?
I guess. Yeah.
Interesting.
So good.
All right. I'll have to try it sometime.
He's taught me a lot about candy over the years, has Adam McKelvey. Coming up next, Charlie's Sounds of the Day. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Speaking of Wendy's, if you love Wendy's classic chocolate and vanilla frosty flavors, there's some big news. They're all new Frosty Swirls, now Frosty Fusions. It's the same creamy treat you've always loved. Now they flavor refresh. So what are these new flavors? Okay, well, we've got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel. Ask for the extra swirl. And the Frosty Fusions, Oreo brownie, caramel crunch, and Pop-Tart strawberry. So clock in for sweet treat time with Wendy's all-new Frosty flavors. A refresh on a classic. It's gotta be Wendy's.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on The Fan.
All right, let's get to Charlie's Sounds of the Day. It is brought to you by our fine folks over there at Prize Picks. And I will tell you that our lineup last night that we tried to run out there ended another player's year. So glad we can be involved in ending players' years. Tyreek Hill, it's been fun. It's our fault. I apologize. My kid has Tyreek Hill on his fantasy team. We had him in our Prize Picks lineup last night. That took care of that. And Browning for Cincinnati also failed to get a touchdown, so we lost.
I just like the underdogs. I'll always go with the underdogs, even if it's Jake Browning. He disappoints me, but I'll keep going with him.
Yeah, I'm never going with him again. I don't care what team he plays for. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash on Green Bay this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds to turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So you want to pick more on Jordan Love's passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. We did not stack last night. On Friday, I want to stack Jordan. Oh, no. Well, he's not playing this week, so we got to pick somebody else. I want to stack a quarterback this week.
Caleb Williams?
Sure.
Right.
Follow other Prize Pick players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code SPARKY, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code SPARKY to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details. Charlie Usen, where are we going first?
All right, first up, we're going to head over to the other Monday Night Football game from last night, the Bengals and the Broncos, where Troy Aikman is hating on the ticky-tack calls that the refs are starting to give across the NFL.
Alex Palczewski, who they bring in as an extra offensive lineman. He's been busy tonight, guilty of that blindside block.
Forcible contact with the shoulder going back toward his own goal line. That's a blindside block. Good call.
I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. That's a good call. It's just not a necessary call, I mean, I was waiting for it. I had no opportunity to try to make a play.
First down and 25. Spinning catch by Dobbins. And Dobbins brought down by Dax Hill.
Nothing brings a broadcast to a screeching halt more than these yellow flags.
Here is Ingram on the catch and run. A good job to find his way and get some yardage, but there's a flag down. Guess what? It's an ineligible man downfield.
Ineligible player downfield, offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Troy?
Yeah, the product just not very good. I'm going to be honest. It's just not very good. I mean, this is ridiculous. Wattenberg, he's been called a few times tonight for some penalties. He's the center right in the middle. It's hard on those guys with the screens, and they're trying to time it out, and the ball's just a little bit late getting thrown, then they'll get called more times than not.
This is interesting. Did you get the Brady sound I sent you?
I did. And
yeah.
I was going to play that in this segment.
Okay. So what you're going to realize is the NFL is about to become the NBA. We are headed that direction. So this is Aikman not happy with all these flags being called because guys aren't doing their jobs. Referees are overly excited to throw flags, whatever the case is. And he just said it's not a good product. Mind you, this product has paid for his entire life for the most part, whether him playing for the said NFL or now getting paid to call NFL games. And he's got issues with the product. I'm not saying he's wrong on ESPN. I'm not saying that at all. But it's still a former player that played now criticizing the guys that are on the field now for what they're showing everybody. Tom Brady is another guy that had thoughts on how the quarterback position is being played in the NFL right now. This is what he said.
I actually don't think the quarterback plays as good as it used to be. Certainly understanding defenses, understanding pass concepts, being in a huddle, taking snap counts. I used to walk into the meeting rooms with on a Tuesday of 50 plays that I wanted in the game plan. I'd be hard pressed to think there's any quarterbacks that go in there, maybe one or two that go in there with actual plays of what they want to run.
That you came up with.
Yeah, that I came up with, that I were part of our plan, that Peyton did the same thing. There's a lot of guys that we play with that really understood what quarterback really meant. I think the lack of development in college football. Wow. I don't think there are college programs anymore. I think there's just college teams, and I think the NFL is getting less and less developed.
Is that because
players.
of NIL?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think jumping from team to team,
the portal
stuff. I don't think you're learning a lot of really tangible values that are going to sustain themselves over time. So the only reason why I performed the way I did over a long period of time was resilience, competitiveness. I took on every challenge. I failed a lot. I didn't have my parents there to save me. I overcame a lot of those things. Right. I gained a lot of self-confidence from overcoming them. And it's a very different era right now, even since the 2011 collective bargaining agreement, where the players, didn't have much time in the facility in the off season. The two-a-days got taken away. And some of those are for good reason. I'm sure there was important reasons why those things were done, but sometimes the pendulum swings too far one direction. So before we go too far down the line, I thought we were playing chess, and I think a lot of the guys now are playing checkers.
There you go. Get ready. And he's got a mic in front of him now all the time. All the time. Peyton Manning was on that interview too. He also is on this Manning cast on ESPN. These are 3 former Hall of Fame quarterbacks all taking shots essentially in the same week about the product in the NFL, about the quarterback play in the NFL. This is not going to be good for the National Football League if they continue to voice their opinions. I'm out of time. I can't get your third one.
It was Sauce Gardner also complaining about the referees.
There you go. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, and that's at least a current player. He's mad because, we suck, so I can't get calls. I get it. So, Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy's, live from 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Up next, Green and Gold Update, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Pete Doherty of the Green Bay Press Gazette. Stay tuned.